Let's see. Boom. You've got Adam, and you can see that I got my friend Benedict Dantold here. We are here for the Outlier Holiday Spectacular. Hope everybody brought their drinks. I see. There you go. I see. Dantold brought his. We're going to talk Boxing Day and soccer. We're going to talk about NFL. I basically swiped everybody who I know from SGPN to come over here and do this. But first things first, Jeremy, how you doing, buddy? How you been?
I'm doing awesome. Just one thing I really want to point out is I am usually very skeptical about tools. I'm an old school gambler. I do things a certain way.
Yep.
And I'm not a shill. But
you are not a shill. You are not a shill. You will
Outlier has changed my life when it comes to soccer.
Well, Evan will appreciate that if he's watching this. He will say, because he's been very excited about it. And then dude, it's great.
Number of hours of research it saves. Just having to not go back through all the. Oh my gosh, that alone.
Wait till he adds. Wait till they add the championship. And
yeah, Champions League, lower levels. Oh my god.
Yeah, lower levels. It'll be great. All right.
Everything. Yeah.
All right, let's jump in. We are going to go. We're not looking at this stuff, but we have boxing. For those that don't know, Boxing Day, the 26th, is actually a very, very big EPL day. And there is stuff going on from 7:30 till, I guess, 3. Is really like as late as it would possibly go. But it's important. It's a big deal. It's kind of over those 2 days. So, Jeremy, what is so let's kind of you guide me through. Tell me if there's a game that you want to pull out. We could talk about it, and then we can kind of look at a couple of props and stuff and go from there.
Sure. First game I want to look at is the Chelsea-Fulham game.
All right. Well, Chelsea, who look like the only ones who could possibly take out Liverpool, but they drew this. I mean, I think Liverpool's running away with it, but who knows?
Yeah, that's I'm not British, so I'm not going to say no, but the scoreless tie over the weekend is what drew me to this. So you have two teams that have been scoring pretty freely. Both didn't score over the weekend.
Okay.
And traditionally, Boxing Day games are a little festive. They can get a little wild. So
is that a nice way of saying they go over?
I believe the average game last year had 4 goals.
Nice. Okay. Good to know.
So I love a lot of action in this game.
Okay.
The one thing I dialed in on was Fulham shots.
Okay. Let's get to this right here. We're gonna go right here. We're gonna game prop it, team prop. Okay. You've been really good on these. Okay, so Fulham shots. What number are we looking at here?
It's 11.5 is the best line I can see right now.
Okay, cool. I see that on ESPN. All right, so tell me take us through why we're looking at this one.
All right, so I expect Chelsea to want to move up and down, and they're most certainly going to win this game. So the angle I like is Fulham will hang around, and they're going to get lots of opportunities to try and score late, and they're going to take shots, whatever they can do to stay in the game. So that's what I look for on team shots is who's trailing, because you're going to shoot more in the second half. You're going to, and if the game's open, you're going to get that. Like sometimes you get the games where it's 2-0 and a team just gets outshot 16-3 and it's just a boring ass game. Like that's not what I expect from this game. I expect action and I expect some back and forth, and Fulham has the wheels and the shooters to fire shots, and they have the man in the middle. Like Raul Jimenez, I expect to start again this week. Like and just to get some random headers in there. So I like Fulham shots.
They have 14 when they are they hosting or is Chelsea hosting?
It's at Chelsea.
Yeah, the last time they were at Chelsea, 14 shots for them in January.
So like the other thing I noticed is like recently Chelsea games have had a ton of shots.
Okay.
So like 30 plus in 4 of their last 6.
Wow.
Which would indicate both teams are getting shots. So they're giving up around 10, 11 shots a game at home, and they're getting a ton themselves. So I don't mind total shots as well, but I could see a scenario where Chelsea gets up 2-3 goals and then kind of shut it down.
Look at this. Look at the splits on Chelsea home for shots. It's nuts.
Yes.
It's pretty nuts, especially over the last 5. Like, I mean, Arsenal is a defensive team they're shooting up against. I mean, this is not this Forest game. Chelsea 22 shots, 17, 7. So look, you're saying if people are going to create, then other people are going to create back. So yeah.
So that's what I like there. And what I decided to do for this special event was I'm going to throw a player prop in with everything I like too.
Oh, nice. Let's see. Let's get to it. What do we got?
So I did there'll be a trend. It's my 3 favorite player props.
All right. So this is good, guy. This is stuff that we can, if you want, you can sometimes underdog it. You could prize pick it. You could do some of these things. And again, so I'm also watching because I am sweating. I'm not sweating it anymore, but over 2.5 touchdowns in the first half is 4 yards from cashing. So
nice. For player props, I always warn, look at the lineups before, like about an hour before the kickoff, to make sure the people are playing, because especially on a day like Boxing Day, they just played 3-4 days before that. Teams can rotate their players. Guys you would expect to start aren't starting. Random things can happen. So just be careful of that.
Okay.
But Alex Iwobi he's one of my favorite players right now because he just shoots. Like, that's all he does. He gets into a spot, he shoots. I've hit several anytime goal scores.
His shots each half has got a crazy hit rate.
Oh, is it really? I never even noticed that. But
his shots each half his shots each half has a higher hit rate than his shot on goal overall. Like, look at he's had a shot in each half in 7 of his last 10. Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack your thing, but it just came out, and 4 straight on the road. That's
why we do this.
Yeah, this is. I'm glad we labbed this. This is that's definitely a bet for me. That is keep going. No,
I mean, great. That's it. It's like the guy shoots. I think he had 5 on Saturday or Sunday, whenever they played Southampton.
3 on target, and he had it's 6 overall.
There you
6
go.
with 3 of them on target.
He's a shooter, and just the way they run their offense, they attack from the wings. He comes in, he shoots, and so I love that angle for him, especially against a team like Chelsea.
Awesome. I love it. I think. So do you like you'll take you would do shots on goal. You're okay with it at plus money? Just one. One is 1 plus 140.
Oh, for 1 shot on target?
Yeah.
I think I like the 2 shots.
Okay.
I believe that's also plus.
It is. It's plus 110. I like it. There it is. Oh yeah. Oh, the volume's incredible. Yeah, dude, this is great. This is a great play. I love it. And this is great. Is there another player that you like that you want us to pull up?
Not in this game. It'll be for the next game.
Okay. What's our next game we're going to?
Nottingham Forest and Spurs.
There you go. Nottingham and Tottenham. All right.
If you've been paying attention to the group chat, you will know what my bet is here.
On these I've been somewhat, but like I hope it's a fade of Tottenham because I find them to be obnoxious. But
it is a total corners bet.
Oh, let's go. Okay, total corners.
Over 11.5 for the game.
Okay.
Spurs are a corners machine.
Oh, look at this.
The way they play just produces corners. And I think this is a perfect matchup for them because Forest tends to keep shots down while also scoring, which means like they're keeping the pressure on. The games are moving, but they're blocking a lot of shots.
Yep.
They are creating a lot of difficult situations, maybe clearing crosses away. So, I mean, to me, I hate starting a ladder at 12, but this is a game that could have 14, 15, 16 corners in it.
Awesome. Yeah, looking over at defensively for Nottingham on the corners, the middle of the pack. But like you said, Chelsea second in the league in corners created. That's pretty extensive.
And they give up a ton just because they expose
or not
themselves
Chelsea.
so
sorry,
much.
Tottenham. I don't know why I said Chelsea.
Spurs. Yeah,
Tottenham. Yeah, Tottenham. And their defense is trash.
So I mean, like if you look back at some of the last games by Spurs, like 12, 12, 14, 15, 18, there's a little 7 in there, but I like corners in this game. I just love the way Spurs just play a wild style, and it's just conducive to corners.
Love it. Who are we looking at prop wise in this?
Oh, all right. Dejan Kulishevsky. I said his name wrong.
Oh, so my bad. Dejan.
I hope he's not offended when he watches.
Dejan. Here he is, Dejan. Look at this hit rate. Minus 105 for him to have a shot. He's just all he's doing is shooting.
He is the most underrated player, I believe, in the Premier League right now. He is a very, very good player on a mediocre Spurs team. So he creates, he does a million corners. He takes all the corners. He does everything you want. And so I like shots, but what I really like is goal or assist.
Okay, let me see this. So his goal plus 210 versus plus 170 on MGM. So let me throw that in there. And then his assist plus 340. Woo!
So if you do the goal or assist, do you have that goal and assist? Like there's an option on there.
Shots on goalie tab outside the box goal. You plus, by the way, 40-1 for him to have a header goal. But no, I don't see. I just see
it's on there.
His goal. His goal is his goal. It should be here somewhere. But I see his goal. Oh, goals and assists plus 165. There it is.
Yes, that's it. It's a great number. He has scored, I believe, in 4 straight games overall. He scored in their Europa League game, and he scored in, I believe, a cup
3 straight.
game.
Yeah, 3 straight game. 3 straight. I don't know. Is this Premier? Are all these Premier League games? They might have been. Yeah.
It just has the Premier League games in here. Yeah.
Yeah. Premier Leagues. He had dude. He's creating constantly.
Yeah, he scores or assists. I feel like at a very high hit rate. And I think for 165.
By the way, live cash over the 2.5 touchdowns in the first half.
Job.
All by the Packers. Let's do it.
So yeah, that's that. I mean, he's probably my favorite player right now. You can do shots. You can do shots on target, goal or assist. At plus 165, I think is a great bargain.
That's awesome. All right, what you got you got a third one for us?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a interesting game. It's the West Ham Southampton game.
Okay.
And I might just have a player prop here because I'm not sure what to do about the game because
this is, by the way, priced as to me, like just reading the line. When I see this kind of pricing of like plus 260, plus 250 for tie, and I see both sides at plus money, it reads to me as the greater dog, draw no bet type of situation. So while Southampton stinks, the read for me on this would be, let me see, I would do the 7-1 tie or Southampton.
Yeah. So
double chance. That's what I would do.
The interesting twist in all of this is, so I'm not sure if he's actually going to be on the sidelines, but Southampton just got a new manager.
Ooh, good bump.
He was watching from the stands the last game. They played probably their best game in 2 months. But it was a 0-0 draw, and they kept it really tight, barely tried to play any offense. So that was interesting. And West Ham's manager is basically 1 foot out the door.
Okay.
So I kind of feel I don't have the stones to bet Southampton.
I mean, they're only
But
plus
I
230 on the money
think
line, which tells you everything. Like, that's a very short price.
if they're going to win a game, it's this one.
I think I like the double chance at 7-1.
Yes. So like they could keep it at zeros. They could keep it 1-1 maybe. But it's very, very interesting. But this is also my favorite player prop.
Okay, let's see.
Thomas Suchek.
Oh, does he spell? He must spell it. He must spell it the European way.
I think it's
T-O-M-A-S.
T-O-M-A-S.
He does. He spells it the Spanish way. All right. What do we got for this guy?
All right. So this guy's a machine. He is a central kind of defensive midfielder who gets forward all the time. He is the focal point of corners, of set pieces, everything going on in the box. He gets his head on. So I love his shots. I weirdly would sprinkle a little on him to score.
Well, you said he's always big for headers. You like 10-1 for him to score a goal as a header?
If he scores a goal, it's almost certainly with his head.
Okay, well then we're putting that in 10-1 on Caesars. That's awesome.
So the thing I dialed into here is recently West Ham has played two other bottom teams. They played Leicester and they played Wolves. And he had 5 shots against Leicester and 3 shots against Wolves. He has scored every third game the last 6. So I kind of feel like it's that spot for him to pop his head up again. West Ham doesn't have a real striker right now. So he kind of is that guy who can sneak in there. So I'm definitely playing his shots. I think his 2 shots are plus money, and I will throw a little bit on the.
It's 5, dude. It's his shots on goal is 5-1. Let me just see his shots. I keep going over here and remembering that you do this. So 3 shots is plus 170.
2 shots is right around plus 100.
It's giving me minus 105, but maybe it's shots. I'm getting minus 185 on that. Maybe it's shots on goal.
So Bet Rivers usually.
That's right. It's Bet Rivers. It's Bet Rivers. So Bet Rivers has a very good price on this. Is what you
yes. That's where I usually attack.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Is that so?
I'm going to add it in there so people know, find your pricing for it, but there's a good way to do it. So yeah, cool.
Yeah. And yeah, but throw that goal in there. And if you want to throw the header goal in there, that's even more fun.
Dude, 650 for his goal. And then it's such a better, it's like such an infinitely better price here. Hold on. I want to make sure I got the right thing. Cause this is giving me, let me just do this. There it is. There's his goal. Cause they were putting up his goal against Liverpool too. Cause which I'm like, why is this way better? I'm like, oh, it's cause it's against Liverpool. So
plus 102 on Bet Rivers. If you
yeah, for the goal,
for the 2 shots.
Oh, for the 2 shots. Yeah. But for the goal, I'm seeing plus 450, which is great.
That's a nice little Christmas gift.
Dude, look at that. Okay, so we got stuff in the Chelsea Fulham game. We're going at Alex Iwobi, Dejan Kulusevski, and Thomas Suchek are frankly our dudes. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pop this right in there. I'm gonna so that everybody in the chat can have it and do that. And dude, Jeremy, this is awesome. You got anything else for us, or you blessing us with 10 angles that you absolutely loved?
The only other one I really love is I expect a lot of goals in the Newcastle Villa game.
Let's see what an alt.
Newcastle has destroyed Villa the last 2 home games, 5-1, 4-0.
Over 3.5 plus 150.
Newcastle has scored 13 goals. I think in their last 4 games, they are scoring goals
Yeah.
Villa.
They're 4-4-6-6 in their last 4 games. They're having a very good December.
Yes, they're rolling at home, and Villa just had a very good game against City. I just think this is going to be a fun, wide open game.
Nice. I just added the over 3.5 at +150. I think that's a good one. Cool, man. All right.
And you get your rare, very, very rare. I'm not saying bet this, but the Liverpool Leicester total is posted. It's 4.5. You never ever see a number that high. So they expect Liverpool to beat the life out of Leicester.
Jeremy, aka Benedict Dantle, tell everybody where they can find you if you want to be found. As I see Moon off the machine in the backstage area, giggling and seeing everything that's going on.
I usually avoid press, but at Benedict Dantle on X. And if you need anything, hit me up. I love soccer. I watch every game. And
he shows up on College Experience whenever they talk about Maryland.
Just because they hate Maryland, so I have to defend my school.
Yeah, well, Colby's good about that. All right, man. Thanks for coming through.
Adam. All right.
Moonoff, what's going on, man? How you doing, buddy? Look at this, a 3-way.
Oh, what's going on, man? I know it's sports, but you and I are counting down the days to the MLB season, my friend.
We are. So I'll give this out right now. Well, let me confirm that someone bet it for me because I couldn't get down on it, but I will convert. Christopher Sanchez is 100-1 to win Cy Young.
Okay.
And I just wanted just to put it in perspective, for 6th highest WAR in the league last season amongst pitchers, third Philly starter, not their ace. Best stuff I think on the team. But I just want to point out that Jared Jones's odds are 30-1. So this is either a very insulting number or Jared Jones is a lot better than all of us think he is. As by the way, as I see, as Scott is coming to invade your segment already in the back sitting there. I said Munoz going until like a little after 9:30. He's like, cool, I'm gonna come as soon as his is on, and he jumps in. So actually, we'll have him on later. But Munoz, how you been, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. You know, it's busy times right now. I mean, I think that's 365 days a year, but you know, we got NBA season going on. You know, we're all getting ready for MLB season, which is already crazy to say. Feels like the confetti just settled in Los Angeles there with the Dodgers winning it all. But it's been good, man. It's been busy. NFL season, of course, getting ready for the playoffs. So you know how it is. It's just busy times, man. Just trying to find winners. That's all we're trying to do.
Well, yeah. And I know we're going to talk about your guys. We're going to go right into. We'll talk about your guys, the Texans. But like, who's next man up? Everybody on that team's dead.
I know, man. It's just, and it's really unfortunate. Like with Tank Dell, he's a Houston guy, right? He went to the University of Houston. Yeah. The Texans obviously drafted him. You know, with the injury at last year and getting shot in the off season, and then you know what transpired this past week for him. So you kind of feel for the guy. You know, I think that he'll be out more than likely for the entirety of the next season. So we're just gonna have to go out in free agency and, you know, get some guys that obviously next to Nico Collins. Did pick up Deontay Johnson. Not a fan of it, but I get it because we need it, right?
I don't know. I mean, this Mechie will be back next week. Yeah. Mechie's been good when they want him to do. I still think Robert Woods has it. I like him.
I think so too. So I'm glad we kind of kept him around because when we came into the season, I feel like we were carrying, you know, one too many wide receivers, but it seems like what the hell do I know? But it seems like a smart move now that, you know, with all the injuries that we have at the wide receiving group. So, you know, Nico's still going to do Nico things. Like you're right about John Mechie. I think that he should step up in the spot here as well. Yeah. Dalton Schultz as well. Kate Stover is there as well. So I think we're going to be okay. I don't have a lot of high hopes for the playoffs, at least. I know our division's kind of a little weaker, putting it nicely, I should say. But I think now that we have the head coach and the quarterback of the future, I think we're going to be okay. But it's just about building out the roster now.
Well, speaking of the future, let's talk about the future game that we got coming up this week. We got a Christmas game. And by the way, Scott, I see you back there. I'm gonna let you invade when he and I do NBA. We're gonna do NBA right after this, so I'll let you invade then. Scott and I just won a pretty sharp angle. I'm gonna take credit. It's a very sharp angle we got. We just won over 2.5 touchdowns in the first half at plus like 140 because the Saints are dead and the Packers are just running it down their throat. But this is your time. We're gonna respect that. So what are you liking with this? This is actually a pretty important game. Because Houston hasn't been playing its best, and I think the Ravens never really looked prepared. But tell me what you're thinking on this Texans-Ravens game, side total wise and overall outlook on this game.
Yeah, obviously Ravens coming in was up around a 5.5 point favorite in this game. I think it's a good buy low spot here for the Texans.
I would agree with that. I 5.5. I don't think Tank Dell is really worth movement like this to the spread.
And I think obviously the way the Ravens are playing right now as well, right? And I think people have been calling the Texans a fraudulent team, quote unquote. I see the narrative of that just because again we talk about how bad this division is with the Colts, the Titans, and the Jaguars in particular, right? But the Texans have relatively been under DeMeco Ryans. I know it's a very small sample, Adam, but they've been really good at home in these spots here. And I think catching points here at home, the one thing that does scare me, Adam, and I'm pretty sure you can pull this up, is how dominant Derrick Henry has been against the Houston Texans.
You know what? Didn't we do this? I feel like last year when you and I did this show, it was Titans versus Texans.
It probably was,
and that 100% was, and we totally talked about this. I absolutely remember it.
So that's
like a year ago. It was like a year. We absolutely did this. Yeah.
So that's the part that scares me about, at least. And we can talk about that in a minute here. But as far as the side here, I think it is too many points. I wouldn't be surprised if the Ravens won this game by a field goal or by 4 points. But I think outside of 4, you got to get down on the Texans. You're at +5.5. The crowd's going to be up for it. I know CJ Stroud and Tank Dell are going to be best friends. Don't be surprised. I'm putting -5,000 odds on this, Adam, that he comes out in a Tank Dell t-shirt for pregame warmups. So keep an eye out for that. So I think they're going to go out there, play for Tank Dell. But I do think they at least keep this game relatively close. I think they cover the spread here at minimum.
No, I like that. I like it. I don't think that this Ravens team is I just don't think this Ravens team is very good. Prop wise, is there anything that you were looking at already early?
Yeah, so I think obviously Derrick Henry, just because of the history that he has against this Texans team. I mean, there's been games where he's just gone for an automatic 120 plus yards against this team. Obviously, when he was with the Tennessee Titans. You mentioned John Mechie. If he is back for this game, I think that's a good angle.
By the way, his rushing yards is relatively low. You kind of get in a buy low on. You kind of. I mean, he ran through Pittsburgh, but like generally speaking, like 88's pretty low for him. Like, yeah, that's actually I really like that number for it. It's
especially based off of just the history there.
Yeah.
Also I mentioned this. I know the Baltimore Ravens have not been very good against tight ends. So if you do want to look at Dalton Schultz in this game, I know he had I want to say he had a pretty good game against the Chiefs last week. Another team that's not very good.
45 yards.
Yeah. And if you just take a look at tight ends in specific against the Ravens, that's been a very, very profitable angle this season.
Yeah, 25th in the league in receiving yards allowed are the Ravens against tight ends. So it's been pretty stinky. It's start from the beginning of the season on. We've seen it. So What do you like? Yeah, let's take his yard. Actually, let's
what's his reception
here? Let's go to let's do this. Let's do him for 40. 40 is +124.
I like that.
Yeah, and when he goes over it, this is a clean angle to take on it too. I like it. And he had 43 against Baltimore in the playoff game that they
love it.
Like got their asses beat. So there's revenge angle. There's lots of stuff. He's going to get more snaps. I like that. I like the 40 yards here.
Yep. And this also, like you mentioned, the revenge angle. I think this was CJ Stroud's rookie season. The first game we played was actually in Baltimore, where they handled business against us. So looking to at least get some redemption in this game here for the Texans here. Yeah.
Any other things that you like on this game before we let in the ghost of Scott Reichel and talk some NBA?
No, let's get Scott on.
All right, look at this. Scott, you've invaded one of your coworkers' segments on another show. How does that make you feel?
Oh, you told me to do that. So
I said you could if you wanted to, and you said you did. I didn't say do it. So
I'm here. So what's up?
Well, me and
Nothing.
Scott are on a double date because we did the NBA pod this morning. So now we're doing the
you told
nightcap.
me.
I
It's
want to give a
always-
shout out to Munaf's favorite team because the Rockets halftime, full time at even money, or in our case, Rockets to lead after
We took
every
wire to
quarter,
wire.
was really never in doubt because the Hornets are a fake basketball team.
Is wait, how about our guy Josh Green?
That I didn't check. I know he hit a 3-pointer before, so he didn't have 0, but I'm not sure if he actually scored more than that.
Nope, 3 points. That's it.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
What a player, Josh Green. So something, by the way, actually that I've seen, and look, you don't have to just have good. You don't have to be playing on a recreational book to do this. You could do this on, look, frankly, you can do this on some of the books that Munaf and Scott and I bet on. But basically, I have started using FanDuel as my sharp prop line because it's like a public book.
Mhm.
And if you can find a better line anywhere else, I'm finding that the ROI and then the hit rates on it are incredibly good. This Josh Green under, I just found that it was a line that was beating FanDuel. And if you can find lines that are beating FanDuel, you probably are in good shape prop wise. Anyway, that's just a little nerdy gambling tip there. But let's kind of go, Munaf, what NBA game did you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the Lakers? Or what do you want?
Yeah, we could talk about the Lakers.
Your call. I haven't even looked at anything on here. I have a sneaky feeling that Curry's gonna have a big game, but that's completely biased on my end. Which game do you want?
Let's do the last game of the night. Let's do Denver Phoenix.
Okay. I got nothing up for it, so I can't.
Nothing yet.
Oh,
we could do Lakers.
We could do it today. We could do it today. Yeah, let's do
Or we could do because they play tonight and they play again.
Yeah,
on
let's do this
Christmas
Denver.
Day.
Let's talk about this Denver Phoenix game. Let's do it. What something that you like tonight?
Yeah, so I actually did play the Phoenix Suns. I took them as my dog pick on our NBA pod this morning. Scott and I were kind of talking about the injury report for the Denver Nuggets because they're coming off that overtime game last night. Had an inclination that we would probably see Jamal Murray or some sort sitting. Did get that information. I did see Scott is probably headed to Japan after the game tonight if Russell Westbrook gets the job done for him. But I think it's a good spot here for the Phoenix Suns, right? The Denver Nuggets are coming off a 3-game road trip. They played the overtime game last night. You're without Jamal Murray.
They're so bad, by the way, in the third quarter. They are awful.
And I know
they're also the worst first half team in the entire league in terms of any team with a pulse. Denver. Yeah, they're awful in the first half of games.
They've just fallen off defensively, man. I don't know. I feel like they've missed Bruce Brown and KCP there as well. But I do like the Phoenix side, even without Devin Booker. Talked about Kevin Durant should have a big game here tonight. Bradley Beal should contribute there as well. So as long as if Nurkic can stay out of foul trouble, trying to guard Jokic, good luck with that. But it's when you see Jokic come off the floor, we all know that this Denver Nuggets team just completely falls off a cliff. So I do like Phoenix here. Possibly they'll pull away in the second half if they are down at the half. But I think you see some tired legs from Denver in the second half just because of their road trip in the back or the overtime game they had yesterday.
Yeah, Murray's out too. I saw that as a late scratch. Colin Gillespie, by the way, I forgot was on this Denver roster who fit that Villanova role that they were missing last year, which is 28-year-old white point guard. They didn't have that last year. That's probably why Villanova didn't do so well. That's like there. Yeah. So anyway, look, Scott and I've been talking about this a lot. I think this Denver team is a fringe play-in team right now, and it just shows you how good Jokic is. Scott, did you have something you liked about this game before we jumped into props for it?
Well, it's a weird game. It's an immediate rematch game, so I'm assuming that Murray's going to be once again. I'd say his absence will be felt, but Westbrook should be pretty active in this matchup. It's why I did take the prop because I thought that Murray wasn't going to play on a back-to-back after the overtime game. They were in a war with the 5-25 Pelicans. I can't lay points with you. They're just not an option for me. Now, Phoenix did lose their last game to Detroit. Durant had 43 points, but at least they had a day off in between. I ended up going with Phoenix. Am I going to bet the game? Probably not, but there's no way I'm going to lay this with Denver. If you want to go for the largest comeback, though, at 10
you love
points,
this. You love this play.
Fun fact, though, do you know which team this year leads the league in 10-plus point comebacks?
The Atlanta Hawks.
The answer is the Denver Nuggets.
It is Denver. There you go.
Fun fact.
Wait, have you been tracking that manually?
No, that was on the Denver broadcast when I was watching the
Okay.
game.
All right. I didn't know.
So that came up. I do the Atlanta games mostly because they also blow a bunch of double-digit leads, and I don't have that number for Denver, but they trail all the time, especially early. I don't mind Phoenix first half. Denver is one of the worst first half teams in the entire league.
Phoenix. So you could do Phoenix by 1.5 is plus 164, or the Phoenix money line plus 140. I would do the minus 1.5 at get a little bit extra out of it.
Either that or you could do a three-way line for the money line. Doesn't matter. Point is, I think Phoenix has some value. They should come out a bit, I'd say, focused after losing to Detroit last game at home. They were awful defensively in that game. They're not a good defensive team, but Denver, in addition to having a back-to-back, they went to overtime with travel from New Orleans. That's not a great scheduling spot at all. I think it's a pretty good spot for Phoenix, especially early. So I'll go with Phoenix first half.
Prop-wise, is there stuff that you liked for this game?
I got Westbrook triple-double. So
yeah, we got that Westbrook triple-double, which is nice.
Line's down to like 16-1, by the way. So
no, look at that. CLV.
Pure CLV. I got like 75-1 with the boost that FanDuel gave me. So we'll see what happens.
I didn't get that boost, and that's why I was like, Scott, I'm taking half of this.
Yeah, I let you claim half.
I know. Moonoff, is there stuff that you like? Any players that you like tonight on this before we go to the Christmas game?
We talked about Kevin Durant, Scott and I on the pod today. Put him in our underdog fantasy entry. Really, nobody can guard Kevin Durant. Is pretty much him and Bradley Beal are the offense for this team, and relatively historically, he's done pretty well against the Denver Nuggets as well. So, do like him on his points prop. I think the number was 31.5. But if you want, even if you want to, alt it up to maybe like a 35.5 or something along those lines, get some nice plus odds. I do think it could be a big game for
plus 162 for the 35, and he had 35. I mean, Scott talked about this to me last night or 2 nights ago, and I was like kind of not into it because I just don't like high points props. But he's like Durant goes crazy when Booker's out, and then I replied with this reeks of an underdog. I
believe your exact words were over the weekend. This reeks of Durant leaves in the third quarter with an injury. And then he dropped 43 points. I'm like, all right, sure. I had a good time.
It's fine. It's great. Yeah, he hit it by the third quarter. And actually, I was right, just not at the right thing that why he left in the third quarter. He left in the third quarter because he had already hit his points prop.
Yeah.
Versus his ankle or something. All right. So we got his points in there. I'm a big usage guy. So like seeing Beal out and all this, and also seeing kind of an outlier price on here. I like his RA minus 118. I'm a big fan of just taking RAs. If you're on the court, that prop is live, like consistently.
Yeah. There was one thing I want to ask about Durant though. Can you just pull up his turnovers? Potentially filter without Booker.
At that last night.
He had what do you have? 8 turnovers last game?
8 last night.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But I want to see him without Booker, like even dating back to last year, because he tends to turn the ball over a ton when he actually does have to handle a lot of the offense.
Look at that!
He turns it over a ton. So
yeah, I think we may.
Plus, it's minus 110, which I don't.
Yeah,
mind.
I think we may have to take this.
But
look at that: 5, 2, 4, 6, 8.
As a Nets fan, I witnessed him turn the ball over a ton, so I'm not shocked by those numbers.
Nice job, no hands. All right, let's go to a Christmas game. Now that there's a couple of things up. Is there it's Moonoff's pick. What do you want? What Christmas game do you want to talk about?
Let's do Lakers Warriors. I think we all have interest in that game. At least you do with Steph Curry angle.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm probably gonna go. I mean, look, I'm biased. I'm former Bay Area resident, love this team, and I like this. I liked this Warriors team for the first 2 weeks of the season.
We all did.
Then they died. But I'm gonna probably take the. I want to look at the Steph threes. This just kind of reeks of. They don't have the stuff up yet, but like it just reeks of a volume game that's just gonna happen. Like. These are showmen. They're going to do it. I made a joke, though, to Scott that the reason why the Lakers called up Bronny is because LeBron's going to load manage on the Christmas Day game so that Bronny can play. which would like tank the league, I think. But
to be
no,
fair,
I
the league's already tanking, so you know.
I agree. I like Curry. I like Curry over threes in this. I mean, I like the Dubs, but this line I can tell you because I bet this game every year on Christmas. This is the exact same line every single year
Every
on
year.
Christmas. Every
Yeah.
year it's 4.5.
I think the Warriors first half would be the angle for me.
Yeah.
We talked about this a lot. We just can't trust this Warriors team in the clutch moments, in that clutch, down the stretch if it is a close game. With Steve Kerr still tinkering with the lineups, it just throws everything off for this Warriors team. And he takes out Curry like at the wrong time. Like they have all the momentum, they're pulling away in the game, and then boom, like at the 6-7 minute mark, he takes Curry out for whatever reason that fourth quarter, and everything just falls apart for this Warriors team. So I think in those moments is where LeBron and AD could probably step up. But I like the Warriors in the first half. I'll say that much.
Yeah, I took Curry under points tonight because I just think that they'll mess around. Like, first of all, it's weirdly he doesn't hit it against the Pacers, but also just I was just like, you know what, I bet you he just volumes on the other games. But yeah, the tinkering is very weird. I do like Hield on this team. I think Hield's a great fit on that team.
He was a good addition for them.
I thought he was a good addition, but like they still just stink in the middle. Like it's just they really don't defend. So I don't know. Scott, did you have anything early that you would like for Christmas or no?
Well, if we were going to talk about this Warriors-Lakers game, if I was going to pick a side, I'd go with the Lakers 1-10. These teams kill each other every year, and I think the Lakers have too much on the inside, as you said before. Draymond, I know that he's not a great offensive player in general, but I don't want to say he looks washed, but it's been pretty ugly, especially over the last couple of weeks. Besides that, they have no backup point guard. Melton died and got traded. They have Schroeder now, who kind of like half starts. They have a weird thing going on, but he's still trying to be familiar with the actual playbook, etc. Pajemski's been a mess. Has been a serious problem for this team.
So bad.
He's been really bad, but just looking at the overall matchup, AD and LeBron should feast if they're healthy on the inside. So I think they're going to kill each other. If you like Golden State, I don't mind 1-10 also. This screams one possession game late, classic prime time, I'd say, drama between the two of them. But I'd go with the Lakers plus the points. I don't want to lay this with Golden State based on their current form. The Lakers have been fine. They're not great, but they're good enough, I guess. But do you want to lay 4.5 with Golden State? Because I don't.
Not really. No. I think I like the 1-10 angle. I've
been trying to experiment more in that market this season, which has worked out pretty well.
I mean, like the other game that I was be looking at on Christmas Day is I completely had forgotten that the Sixers are evidently play on. So I don't even know if Embiid managed to get himself kicked out of the game before halftime today. So we'll just we'll see. I think the Sixers get blown out of the building.
Do you find it weird that the Bucks aren't playing on Christmas Day? I was like 100% convinced like they were playing on Christmas Day, but they're not.
Aren't the Knicks not playing? Yeah, that's
last Knicks year are playing the Spurs.
Oh, they are playing the Spurs.
They're the first game of the night.
For some reason,
or the day, I should say.
They don't have lines posted on your thing because the Knicks are still playing.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. Hopefully nothing happens. All right, well, look, then here's what I'm going to do. Munaf, I want you, I can't ask you, I forgot, Jeremy was just on, I forgot to do this. Yeah. You got a trivia question for folks that are listening.
Yes.
Whoever can answer this question, they should DM you.
Yes.
Chase you down. Don't tell me. I don't care. But like chase you down and you can tell me who's right. And then we'll give them free Outlier Pro. So give your question.
All right. So there has been 6 players in the history of the NBA that have played 18 or more seasons with one team. Give me those 6 players.
All right. So say that again. There have been.
So in NBA history, there has been 6 players that have played 18 or more seasons with only one team their entire career.
Okay.
There's 6 players.
Name all 6?
Name all 6.
All right. Name all 6 and DM Munaf or tweet at Munaf.
Yeah,
what's your handle for everybody?
Yeah, DM me or tweet at me at SportsDirt824 on the Twitter machines.
Munaf also with his name as that, proving that he used to use AIM because that is such a like AIM. That's such a like prodigy name. That mine was like Face Off 125 or something.
Those
like
were the
that.
days, man.
Yeah, man. Scott, since you are here, you can give your trivia question too, and people can harass Scott.
Yeah, so I'm not going to make you list 6 players. So for my trivia question here, I'll keep it Christmas themed. There was an NBA Christmas game a couple years ago, and in that game, it was between the Nuggets and the Suns. Aaron Gordon had a monster poster dunk at the end of that game. Which Suns player did he posterize?
Scott's question, of course, is trolling an entire fan base.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm gonna make you name one guy. So, which Suns player did Aaron Gordon completely baptize?
All right, so we got which 6 players have played with one team in their entire careers?
It was 18 plus seasons, from what I
18 plus seasons.
Yeah,
we'll call it that. So it's not Shaq and his stint with the Celtics.
And Cavs and Suns and all the
yeah,
other
but those are
involved.
really it's like watching like a creative player and changing their jersey in this. And then who did Aaron Gordon posterize on Christmas?
Yep. There's a one play that everyone knows what I'm talking about. Who was the Suns player he dunked on?
All right. And if you know the answers to this, harass Scott and tell him, and then Scott will tell me. Scott Moonoff will tell me. Cool, guys. All right. So I think this is gonna wrap it up because this was fun. But again, Moonoff, tell everybody where they can find you, and then Scott, you can wait until he's done. You can do the exact same thing. And Moonoff, tell everybody.
Yeah, you can find me over at the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, of course, NBA Pod, Propcast, specifically only talking about player props. Of course, when the MLB season's going on as well, you can find me there, MLB Gambling Podcast, writing articles as well for the website, so sportsgamblingpodcast.com, and then you can find me on Twitter, like we just mentioned, at SportsNerd824. Appreciate you, Adam, for having me on, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, and looking forward to it's almost ref report season, because once the calendar turns to January, that's where you start really being like, all right, and everyone's watching NBA now.
Yeah,
here's your ref report. You and Terrell get on it. And I obviously, like, I come over there to when MLB starts and I stay mildly relevant. Scott, where does everybody find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Rice Show Radio. Besides that, find me on the SGPN shows, NBA Gambling Podcast, Tennis Gambling Podcast, WNBA, MLB, all that fun stuff.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm going to drop all of these into this chat for everybody. We're going to tell everybody have a really good holiday, Christmas, whatever you're doing. If it's not Christmas, it's actually just going to be Wednesday to you. That's how, though that night it'll be Hanukkah. Anyway, enjoy it. But or maybe go see Wicked. I don't know. But
are you a Chinese food on Hanukkah?
I mean, I'm married to a Catholic woman, so no.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, you still like Chinese food.
In fact, I had to bribe my kids with chocolate for Hanukkah. I'm like, look, we have chocolate for it. And they're like, we hate this.
Did you gelt or like regular?
Yeah, it's not just like random chocolate. Like, it's the coins.
Did you gamble while spinning the dreidel? That's actually the underrated part of the Jewish community. We had to grow up like gambling on dreidels by betting on our chocolate coins.
Of course we did.
Good time.
All right. So for my buddies that are nice enough to let me drag them on my shows, I'm Adam Rosenberg. Thank you for tuning in at Hey Rosenberg, and we will see you soon. Good luck with your bets.